Hi, I'm Shivam.
Hi, I'm Izzy.
And this is PhoenixChat.
Where one of us can read.
Which one?
You find out.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of PhoenixChat. So continuing right where we left off. Unfortunately, this episode, Juliet decided to make some normal, boring, plain old standard decisions that didn't mess with anyone.
What?
I mean, this one was the episode you definitely just were like on your best behavior, right? I think it was.
No.
It's the one after this that you really like fucked up again.
Listen. The one I was on my best behavior was like a couple weeks ago, okay? Where I actually did a thing that helped the entire party. And then you fucked us over immensely and made me sob for 30 minutes. So, past that, this isn't that bad, I don't think. I kind of put some things in here.
To clear the air here, and to acknowledge the incredibly tense elephant in the room, we had a bit of a heart-wrenching session last night, and I think Izzy might be a little bit mad at me for some reason.
Wow. A little? I sobbed for 30 minutes. 30. I had to mute my mic so you wouldn't listen to my horrid fucking crying.
She pulled me aside in a voice chat where we talked about this with some other people, and then just kind of proceeded to yell at me for an hour straight.
You deserved it! Okay, past that. We'll get to that podcast, and you don't get to say a damn word. I will tell this story. Moving on. Anyway, back to what's happening. So, where we last left off, Boondock's dad had possessed Juliet, and they had a really touching moment. And then Boondock's dad and the other ghosties left, and left everybody there. And they went to the elevator that Mr. Saul had disappeared to. And for a while, we were all kind of arguing, like, should we summon the elevator up? That would probably be super loud and would tell them, like, oh god, they're after me now, they weren't dead. So we decided, you know what, let's not summon the elevator up, just fucking head straight down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of you just climbing straight down. It's a good thing too, because I definitely did have that plan. Like, if you summon the elevator, people downstairs were going to notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you all managed to just climb your way down because, like, most of you are very good at acrobatics. So like even if you had fallen, you could have just probably like slid down the ropes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so all of you climb down. And you come to an opening with just like, it's this big open room with a door near the back, and near you are like two gargoyle statues. And what did you decide to do immediately upon seeing these?
Okay, so I wanted to see if I could, like, break it. Because Juliet's like a cat sometimes, and she's like, I want to knock it over. Why? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just, I want to knock it over.
I need to, guys. You don't understand.
Knocks it over. Oh, wow. A tiny demon's inside that's already attacking us. Hey, Shivam. Yes? Can I steal the tooth? What? Yeah, I want to steal a tooth or a wing. Why do you want to fucking mutilate monsters? I don't know.
But yeah, no. It was one of those things that played into my plan so goddamn well, because, like, my original notes were just, like, the two monsters are hiding inside the statue, and, like, you guys are gonna hear some, like, monster noises when you, like, walk by on a passive perception check. But if you guys didn't, then they were just going to, like, ambush you guys and try to go for that surprise round. However, you immediately knocked it over, and the demon just kind of, like, stumbled out of the fucking statue, and the other one's like, oh, fuck it, and also started attacking. Yeah. Of course, you guys immediately murder them, and yeah, Juliet goes back to her weird fascination with just Mutilating monster parts. Do you have an end game in mind? Are you gonna like make a goddamn Full Metal Alchemist Chimera out of it, or what?
Whoa, no. I have a thing in mind. So, I have an idea. So, at the very end of this campaign, or at least like the midway finale of this campaign, I want to see how much shit she has collected. And based on that, I have personalized style points for me based on how much shit she has, so she can make like possibly a really cool like armor set or something like that with the parts that she has.
Yes, Monster Hunter rules.
Hey, just let me pull up her character sheet, and I'm gonna see how much shit she has at the moment. Actually, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead while I think up the weird and wacky armor set you're gonna make out of this.
I have a cowboy hat. I have...
That's gonna be a part of the armor for sure.
I have the tail and the mandibles of the antlion.
Of course.
I have those purple shell explosives. I have the cone that sucks the fat out of things. I have a pair of knoll ears. I have... What else do I have? I have poison. I have tarot cards. I have incense. Man, I thought I'd have cooler things than that. I might start mutilating more things.
My bad. I'll try to give you cooler things to mutilate.
Yeah, what the heck, Shivam?
My bad.
God. Well, actually, I lied. I do have a friendship bracelet of the wyverns.
Of
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good. Anyway, continuing on. I'm sorry, getting off way off track.
Yeah, so you knock the thing over, everyone then fights it, beat it, Boondock eventually crawls down the elevator shaft. You guys then continue onwards, and I describe, though, as Hops' character has something very interesting happen to her. As Hops is toddling along, she suddenly hears a voice in her head. It seems to be this, like, very feminine voice, kind of whispering something in, like, an angelic, almost sing-songy language. And if Hops knew it was Celestial, like, she might understand it, but she did not. And as this woman, like, says something to Hops in Celestial, Hops then hears a giggle in her mind, and she knows that, like, something has changed and she has some kind of new power. And so Hops tries to channel and focus the power, and as she does, the rest of the party sees Hops's cheeks begin to glow.
Yeah, it was weird. We were like, what the fuck is going on with Hops? And all of a sudden, she fucking on her cheeks, and she becomes this giant beam of fucking light. And we're like, what the fuck?
She opens her mouth, and it's the fucking, like, oh my god, fire my laser meme, where she just fires a beam of light at someone's face.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Her high beams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, to reiterate here, a couple of episodes back, Juliet and Essen baptized Hops. They decided to stick her into the baptismal pool, and they heard, like, this angelic choir as Morgan accidentally sat in some keys. And, like, it's one of those things where, like, it could have just been a very silly one-off moment, but, like, it was so fun to you guys, and it was so fun to just, like, hear that dumb little, like, story, that, like, I really wanted to make this an actual, like, combat ability that Hops could use. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so once per long rest, Hops can now activate her blessed form. And Hops can either heal people, strike people with radiant damage, or fire a beam of light to blind someone. Yeah. In addition, Hops just also has the passive ability of, like, you guys don't need torches anymore, because Hops can literally just, like, slap her cheeks, make a clicking noise, and turn her cheek lights on and off.
She has high beams and low beams.
Yep. So, the rest of the party continues onwards as Hops, being the 2-year-old she is, just like is clicking the lights on and off and on and off and on and off.
Yeah, we were all like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah. Did you have any like other things in character you kind of like were? Did you actually think of any like as a character, like thinking like, oh shit, did Hops actually get blessed? Is this gonna be like a big thing here?
I didn't know what the fuck was happening until like later on. I was like, wait, oh my god, the blessing actually worked. Like, I was like, Essen and I aren't any way, shape, or form, I think, like super holy or anything like near a cleric or something like that. So I was like, how the fuck did an alcoholic fox lady and some air genasi possessed by a god bless Hops into being this like holy spectrum?
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, so as she's going along, clicking her cheeks on and off, all of a sudden we finally get to this huge open cave, because for one, I planted the flower on Mr. Salt, so I knew where to go anyway. Fucking Hops shines her high beams straight at Mr. Salt, who turns around like, really, guys? You couldn't be that, like, sneaky? And we're like, shit, hey. Yeah. But it was weird, because as we were approaching, there was like a portal behind him, and we're like, oh shit, he's gonna escape and go through this portal. All of us have to go stop him. And he summons, like 3 or 4 zombies or something?
Yeah, there's like a number of zombies that like spawn out of the portal at the end of every round, as you guys rolled initiative, and you guys realized like, oh, the portal's not for escaping, it's for bringing things here. Yeah, so the zombies appeared, but also like Juliet, you could see that there was like these ghost things that were also appearing from the portal, and they appeared to be like drawn to something that's further down the mines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you guys then, had the big showdown with Mr. Salt. Mr. Salt by himself wasn't very strong, but, like, the fact that he could summon, like, zombies just every single turn was making him kind of, like, strong, because, like, eventually he'd just, overwhelm you guys. Yeah, so, what was the plan you guys, had again for, closing the portal? I don't actually remember how exactly you did this.
Well, we didn't realize that he didn't want to go into the portal because we were like, oh, he is just, well, no, Hops, managed to grapple him or stun him or something, so he couldn't even move, so we were like, okay, he can't go through the portal. And then when I saw the ghost come out of it, I was like, no, you said, after everybody's turn in initiative, you're like, the portal has a turn, and that's when the ghosties came out, and I was like, oh, it's a thing. Oh. And I think somebody rolled perception or something like that there were runes on the bottom of the portal. Excuse me. Anyway, and we could just, break the runes and something, and we could it would go down, and that's what happened. I remember during that fight though, I managed to scoop out Mr. Salt's eyeballs, but then right after that, I got hit by one of his zombies and was also knocked out.
Yeah, no, it was this really cool moment of, like, Essen deciding to go full, like, badass and, like, fucking, like, I think he just, like, didn't he scream out, like, your kneecaps are mine?
Yes.
Before shooting Mr. Salt in both of his kneecaps?
Yes. Yep.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, that happens. Julia immediately pounces on top, scoops out the eyeballs, gets knocked out by a single zombie because Juliet's so goddamn squishy.
And yet I play her like a tank. I know! I get it!
Oh my god. Yeah, so Boondock reluctantly brings you back up. Then you kinda, like, as you're kind of examining the body, you mentioned to the party, like, hey, weird ghosty things were going, like, that away. Should we, like, maybe follow that? I feel like this, dungeon isn't over from the way that Shivam is implying all of these things.
Okay, so yes, but before that happened, we questioned Mr. Salt, like, after everything was said and done and we were out of, initiative. we questioned Mr. Salt, and he managed to give us this tracking device to find the Oracle, which was our whole mission this whole time. And we're like, oh shit, nice. He also gave us the key to the library, I believe, right?
The key to his library.
His library, got it. And we're like, ah!
Yeah. That was confusing because you guys are like, oh, we need to keep this key safe until we get to the Oracle's library. No, I mean, like, his library. His own personal library.
Yeah. And then, this is fucking crazy, because this is why I say Morgan is the wild card, like, every single fucking session that we do. Because Morgan straight up asked him, like, did you do that to, what was her name, Petunia? Or are you the reason Petunia is sick and doesn't get any, like, you know, money or anything? And he's like, well, yeah, but I'm sorry. Like, he begged for his life, and Morgan just up and blasted him in the face, like, no cap, point blank, killed this man, and all of us were like, holy shit, Morgan!
I think the wildest part, too, like, didn't Morgan straight up also say, too, just, like, hey, if you, like, answer the questions, we might let you go, and, like, Mrs. Salt was, like, okay, fine, yeah, sure, fine, I'll go to jail, it's fine, just don't murder me here, and Morgan's like, fucking, yeah, no, fucking...
Fuck you!
I'm killing this fool.
You're dead, yeah. God, that was such an intense moment, too, we were like, holy shit!
That was hardcore. Oh my god.
Good old Morgan.
Yeah, no, so after you shook off the shooketh from that harrowing scene, that's when we realized, like, okay, time to go further down the mines here. So 2 groups of ghosts had managed to make it out of the portal, and, like, you know, this is actually pretty good. This is, like, the standards that I was expecting, because, like, the longer you guys had waited and not stopped the portal, the more ghosts were going to come out of it, and obviously, like, whatever was down there was going to get a lot stronger.
Yeah.
So you guys then head up into the next chamber. So, next chamber is this fairly dark open room, and you can see that there is the receptionist lady, who you first met in the mines, who had the
porn.
But yes. It's classy. It's classy.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And so she was, like, attempting to run away from this, like, monster, which you guys could see was a gelatinous cube. So the gelatinous cube eventually just, like, absorbs the woman, though, as all of you guys now need to figure out, like, okay, we need to hit the cube, but also get the woman out. I think at that point, like, you guys kind of, like, skirted around the monster and just kind of, like, dodged a little bit until, I believe it was Boondock, reached in and with his ridiculous athletic score pulled the woman out and just, like, alright, everyone start blasting.
Yeah, Boondock, I think they actually used their animated rope to, like, lasso the lady and then pull her out, and then we're like, ha! And then we killed the gelatinous cube. And we're like, hell yeah, we're so good at this game.
Yeah, it was a super duper easy fight. You guys managed to kill it. No sweat, no problema whatsoever. And as you guys do, the woman, like, is slowly gaining consciousness up again, just covered in the goo from the gelatinous cube. And the woman reaches up for someone to give her a hand up, and you were like, oh, Juliet goes to help, and then Essen's player was like, oh, Essen goes to help, and so I'm like, okay, which one of you is gonna help? And then you're like, oh, we'll both do it. We'll both just, like, go help. Yeah, teamwork.
I had no idea what the fuck you were trying to, like, hint at. We were like, why can't we just both fucking help this lady up? Like, what's the fucking problem? We both are cool. We just saved her.
Yeah. And so both of you reach out to help the woman up, and as the woman is helped up, she stares into both of your eyes as you feel something being drained away from you. And Juliet, also, again, just at very, very low health, like, touches this woman and immediately fucking hits the floor. Essen is just kind of, like, stunned in place. Morgan immediately just, like, begins blasting and fucking, like, action surges and just, like, blasts shot after shot into this woman. However, as, like, Morgan blasts shot after shot into the woman, the woman almost appears to be made out of, like, jello, or gelatin, as, like, the shots just kind of, like, they impact into her and they leave, like, these holes and dents, but, like, they don't appear to, this doesn't appear to be, like, a normal body. And the woman suddenly gets yanked up, as all of you can kind of see in, like, the dim light. There's, like, almost a string attached to this woman that pulls the woman back down into the shadows. So everyone's kind of freaking out. Boondock heals Juliet, like, alright, oh, come on, up and at him, we gotta go fight this, monster that tried to trick us.
Who are you people?
Yep. Better than that, it was Juliet steps up and says, "Who are you people?" in a British voice.
Yes. So, some tiny like things about Juliet. She is not from anywhere near Phoenix Heart, like originally, and kind of forces an accent to hide herself. Her actual accent is very slightly British. So when she gets up, she's like, "Who are you? Who am I?" Like, freaking the fuck out, but in her normal accent, which I don't think they got initially. So I was like, okay, don't question it, it's fine.
Yeah. Same thing with Essen, also kind of like, as like Boondock's like, okay, Essen, help me out here. I think Juliet's like, going through something right now. As Essen also says, I have no idea who any of you people are.
Essen and Juliet have fucking amnesia for helping a single NPC, and Shivam wonders, wow, why don't any of my players trust any NPCs of mine? I wonder.
How could this have happened?
How could this have happened?
God. Oh my god. Yeah. And so, as like Juliet and Essen are like questioning the party, trying to figure out what the hell like happened to where they are, the party's like, okay, they at least know how to fight though, so we can just bring them into the next room and then deal with this later after we finish this whole business here. As I mentioned, nope, Juliet and Essen have both lost all of their combat ability. However, you did also notice one more thing, because like Juliet kind of like tried to introduce herself and realized that she had forgotten her own name. But then Boondock said like, you're Juliet, as Juliet then remembered like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and remembered her own name. So, if the party reminded you of anything, you would regain those memories instantly. However, they'd have to like kind of show you a little bit and kind of give you like specific details versus just like vague details. And the more specific they were, the more of your memories you would probably regain.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it was pretty interesting then, because like Morgan and Boondock had to strategize between themselves, like, okay, how do we teach Juliet and Essen how to like use their abilities, because Boondock has never used a whip or a katana ever, and even more specifically, katanas are native to the region that you're from. They're not really native to Phoenix Heart and the western half of the continent. Yeah. So
you know, that's a very good plot that you plot. What am I saying? That's a very good thing that you brought up, because why was there a katana in the middle of the desert, Shivam?
Okay. There wasn't really. I mean, it was an exotic magic weapons shop.
But why did it just so happen to be there?
Because all of you guys needed magic weapons. I couldn't really think of a better way to like. Here's a better way to give you guys all weapons before you get to this big arc. It was.
Man,
this is sus because it's lazy DMing.
I mean, you could just tie it back into something cool later on.
I will try, but like.
Okay.
We'll see. I'll try and think of something if you're not totally satisfied with this free gift I've handed you.
It's not that I'm not satisfied. It's just.
I will make them sus for you. I will make them sus.
You literally make everything in this goddamn campaign sus already.
I will have people try to take those weapons back from you.
No, hold on. Actually, I have a good idea for this, but I'll tell you it later when we're done recording the podcast.
Oh.
I do have a good idea. Anyway, okay, continuing.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Yeah, you guys had to figure out how to use katana. And so, like, no one actually really knew how to use a katana, and so I realized, like, oh, it's actually kind of bad, because, like, I don't want Juliet to have, no abilities in this next fight. So...
I think Boondock was just, like, you just up and smack them, and I, like, literally used my sword and tried to smack... Weapon. Yeah, to bludgeon things, yes, exactly.
And Essen, who had a whip, also tried to, like, bludgeon people with the whip.
Yes.
And it kind of worked, because it was almost a snap, but, like, not quite. Oh my god. However, the nice part, though, is that Morgan is a fighter, and fighters have proficiency with all weapons. And so I kind of, like, gave Morgan a little bit of a hint, like, you probably don't know katanas, but you would know, at least being kind of a little bit of a weapon nerd yourself, that, like, a katana is very similar to a rapier. So, like, if you did, like, some rapier moves, then, like, you might be able to kind of, like, show Julia at least some of the ropes here. And Morgan did so, holding Juliet's Purple Ghost. As he was holding Purple Ghost, though, the Spectral Katana appeared in his hand, and Morgan got spooked by it, and threw the
kunai.
The kunai away. And as he threw the kunai away, it suddenly reappeared in his hand, and Morgan got spooked again, and threw the kunai away again. And this happened a couple of times, and I'm like, okay, that's actually really good, because Juliet, you now know how to throw a kunai, seeing Morgan freak out.
Yes, yep.
Hops also tried to teach you some strategy by saying, like, well, I can do, like, healing magic by blessing people. And the
by
way
licking them.
Yeah, Hops heals people by licking them. And so, Julia and Essen, assuming that's normal, began to... Didn't you all just begin to, like, lick each other or something stupid like that?
We like, licked each other's cheeks or something. I don't think it was, like, anything graphic or anything, but it was just so fucking funny. We're like, we're blessed, and I think I even tried to bless Boondock at one point, and they were like, get the fuck away from me.
Stop it.
Like, gets out the squirt bottle and starts spraying.
Okay, and like, I feel bad for betraying you guys, but also, holy fuck, was it super fucking funny to see Boondock. I don't want to have to talk to these people if I don't have to. Try to explain all your fucking weapons, and Morgan, I cannot communicate properly to another human being.
Yeah. And then Hops.
Be the leaders of this scene. And Hops is just vibing. Hops is doing her best.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, so finally, I think we didn't take a short... I think we took... This technically counted as, like, a short rest, was everyone teaching Juliet and Essen how to use their weapons and finally, like, you know, get stuff. Because, like, you even said, like, you don't get sneak attack until you see it happen, like, once or twice. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So then we finally decide to go to the Abyss.
Yeah, and as you head into the last room, there's this, like, I believe actually, at first... all you guys saw was, Legion, who was standing just in the middle of this, like, big empty room. And I think I kind of described it in a high perception check, that you could kind of see that, like, Legion was floating, but, like, just floating just, like, an inch or maybe half an inch off the ground. Not very high. And so, like, you guys were just kind of, like, confused as to why I described that detail, and I don't think anybody, like, fell for my, trick there, as you all kind of, like, scattered, around, and I think there's, like, you had.
I think this is what happened, because I rolled an Arcana check, because she's kind of good at Arcana, and you said that, and, like, you said, like, her, like, the tips of her toes were like brushing against the ground, but it was like going through the ground. And Boondock wanted to just up and charge at Legion, and I was like, wait, chill out for a second, just shoot her. Why don't you just shoot her? And he's like, oh, okay, that's weird. And we start dinking at her from afar, and then finally he showed why.
Yeah, because the floor that Legion was standing on was an illusion, as they can see this, like, just horrible pit of goo, and even more horrible was this weird, fleshy creature that had extended this long, horrible neck with a skull on the end, just rows of, like, sharp teeth. And as it lets out this terrifying roar, I'm like, I can't believe you fucking didn't fall for it. Because my intentional plan was, like, Boondock's going to immediately charge, fall through the illusory floor, and be stuck in the goop pit with the horrible the Sin Hydra, I believe you called it.
Yes, yep. But we didn't!
Yeah. You didn't!
Big brains.
Yeah, so, all of you guys then decide to kind of, like, take vantage points on the monster, as you're like, well, it can't, like, hurt us from inside the pit, right? As you guys kind of, like, surround, like, the ledges surrounding it and kind of, like, try and dink it from afar, the Sin Hydra then lets out, like, this horrible screech, and as it does, I believe, like, most of you, except for Boondock, who is currently immune to fear because of, like, a ability we gave him, and Juliet were all feared and had to immediately run as far away as they could from the monster. Legion was kind of standing there taunting you guys, saying that, like, you know, she had, like, some other abilities she just couldn't wait to show you, but in a second. You guys continue fighting it, try to eventually get rid of the fear effects. Juliet, I believe, tried to... You dinked at the monster, finally got your sneak attack back, but then I described it as like, well, Juliet's now the closest person to the monster, as the monster begins to just, like, lean its horrible neck right at you, right in your face. You can just feel its horrible hot breath right next to you.
The no-no square. That's what happened.
Yeah. And as it just, like, has this weird, horrible smile at you, you had to make a wisdom save, and unfortunately you failed, so you're under the effects of a dominate person. However, as you were immediately about to attack the party, Morgan fucking just started blasting, and I think it was Morgan that ended up just, like, firing shot after shot into the creature to break its concentration before it was kind of, like, stunned just in front of Juliet. And I think, is this the point where you got the kill?
Kind of. So, while Morgan was shooting at it, the Sin Hydra took over my body, and I remember you describing that my head, like, turned to look at Essen with, like, a creepy smile, and Essen was like, oh my god, what the fuck? What's going on with you? And then Morgan broke its concentration. I went back into my body and I was like, you motherfucker, don't do that again. And I decapitated the goddamn thing.
Yep.
And then with my bonus action, I think I tried to throw the head at Legion, but, like, my strength isn't that good, so it just kind of, like, plopped into the goo. But it was the thought that counted.
Yeah, but then you tried to flick a kunai at Legion.
I did.
And you flicked a kunai at Legion, and it didn't hit, so Legion, without even looking at you, just catches it in the middle of the air. And you wait for the kunai to return back to you. But it doesn't.
It does not. Because Legion's a bitch.
And Legion reveals the purpose of this creature. Well, the purpose of this creature was to steal people's memories so that she could steal their powers. And here was the real horrifying part. She now had all of Juliet's powers as Legion flicked the kunai at Boondock, I believe. Then said, you know what oh my god, I forgot about this part. She flicked the kunai at Boondock, had sneak attack up, got the sneak attack off, then said, like, you know what would be real good for, like, a good rogue to do? Use their abilities, as they used whales from the grave against you, I believe.
Yeah.
And for reference, Juliet's a phantom rogue. Whales from the grave is the signature ability of the phantom rogue.
Yeah.
Izzy has never used it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I forget what things I have, okay? Like Uncanny Dodge. Man, that would have been such a good thing to have last
You have like 3 moves.
You
have like 3 moves. I don't make you remember sneak attack. One of those moves is stab. The other move is flick someone off.
Yeah, and? That's what she has. That's what she has.
Oh my god. But, and in case you're wondering, no, one of the major villains taunting Juliet into trying to remember her main ability did not, in fact, cause Izzy to remember her abilities any better.
I remembered some.
Yeah,
like,
you remember like 2 out of your 3 abilities now.
Okay, alright, hey. Eventually I'll get there, but for now, I'm gonna look at it tonight and try to remember for next session. If I am there for this next session, we'll see.
I swear to God, you're gonna get to like 9th level and finally remember the rest of your abilities, but then you get a new ability that you just have no idea how to use.
I'll forget that
one. I can already sense it.
You know what? It's baby steps, okay?
Yeah, we're getting there. Oh my god. Yeah, so, you flick the kunai at Legion. Legion taunts you, uses sneak attack and wails from the grave, and says, oh, but that's not all, as they use a, brand of castigation, which is one of Essen's Blood Hunter abilities on, I believe, Boondock. And they say, like, honestly, it was really, really nice of all 3 of you, though, to give me your gifts. And as you guys are kind of like, wait, 3? You realize it's not just Essen and Juliet, it's also the god in Essen's mind who got his memories stolen. And that's right, Legion now has the exact same powers of the Kirin.
Wow. So great. Can't you just hear the enthusiasm in my voice? I'm so excited to fight Legion. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, so some more rounds continue. You guys didn't get Legion. Legion's healing most of the damage off as she says, like, ooh, but watch this ability that I can do now. As she summons a Guardian of Faith, which is a 4th level spell that's very exclusive to paladins and clerics. And as she does, Essen fucking loses his shit, just being like, holy shit, you are not like one of like the divine messengers of the gods. You have no right to summon that kind of thing. As Legion just kind of just goes blah blah blah, whatever.
Didn't Legion also turn into me at one point too?
Yeah, just to show that she could.
Yeah, that was so shitty. I was like, dude, why?
It's a good thing that never became relevant ever again.
Okay,
oh my God.
We'll get to that when it comes.
We'll get to my sins.
Just you wait, Shiro. Anyway.
Oh my god.
I think after that, she kind of got bored with us.
Yeah,
or something.
And teleported off as all of you guys are like, motherfucker, she can't keep getting away with this shit. But however, 3 of you were still in the range of Guardian of Faith. The thing about Guardian of Faith is that if you guys decide to move in the range of the spell, you're going to take damage. Like a decent amount of damage. And so it was honestly this like pretty tense like negotiation sequence as like Boondock and Essen were both on like very low health. And so they both had to figure out like, okay, how do we both get out of this without, like, triggering the Guardian of Faith and both going down here? Because, like, Boondock's, like, one of the only healers. And so, what I believe you guys ended up doing was that Essen decides to take the hit by doing a pretty clever plan. If Essen grapples Boondock, and decides to move Boondock, then Boondock isn't technically moving, which means Boondock wouldn't technically take damage from Guardian of Faith. So Essen decides to grab Boondock and take the hit going down, as Boondock immediately brings them back up as all of you guys regroup. But honestly, like, I mean, not a bad session. Like, you guys managed to defeat Mr. Saul, you defeated the weird Sin Hydra, and I was also going to imply there, like, I don't think you guys quite got the implication there because I didn't get to use one of his abilities, but the Sin Hydra is one of, like, the main things that's, like, creating the necromancy creatures and, like, empowering them, so, yeah, so taking that down is going to really help out Hope's Landing. But as you guys realize, you guys need to head back to Hope's Landing. So as you guys, like, recuperate, you all rush out the mines trying to get back as we ended the session there.
Well, before we ended the session there, we we stopped by Mr. Salt's office because we're like, oh shit, maybe he was hiding something else too. So we go in, because he gave us the key, and we got into his safe, we got materials for Morgan to upgrade everybody's weapons, 800 gold each, and Boondock was even like, I don't know about taking this, and I'm like, please, I want gold, it's nice, we just, like, saved your fucking town, we should be able to have this. I think there was a reward or something, like, to, you know, stop the thing that's hurting Hope's Landing, and that's why Boondock was like, okay, I guess you guys can have the gold, and we're like, hell yeah. And then Hops was digging around in the trash can, as she does, and she found a lemon that smells like chemicals, and we still have no idea what that does. And we were pilfering around through Mr. Salt's office, and we found a pair of glasses that didn't fit anybody's face, so we gave it to Hops because we're like, here, have some glasses. Yeah,
the thing is, like, as we kind of slowly realized, we're like, wait, Hops' prayer. Yeah, so where are the eyes of Hops? Because, like, if you look at a frog, the eyes of a frog are on the side of its head. And so we all kind of realized that, like, no, these glasses made for a human just wouldn't really work for Hops, because Hops' vision is askew.
Yeah. I don't know. And then...
It's a really cute image, though.
It is very cute. Because her eyes are on, like, on either side of her head, like, these things are just, like, you know, just tiny little circles. And then we found documents of Mr. Salt's plan. So basically, Mr. Salt was going to just, you know, take over Phoenix Heart, with his, like, undead army, and we're like, get fucked, we already killed you. Doesn't matter. And then we found a ledger, and we never fucking brought it up again.
Yeah. And it definitely didn't have any sort of, like, weird plot hooks or anything like that, or any sort of information on, I don't know, one of the characters' backstories that you guys haven't quite heard enough information about.
Nope, not at all. I have no idea.
Weird, wild, wacky.
Completely out the window, yep.
Oh my god, yeah, so... Looking forward to talking about next week, where we can talk about Juliet's crimes.
When doesn't she commit crimes?
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, was this probably one of the worst things Juliet's done?
This probably is the worst thing Juliet has ever done.
Yes, that's gonna be a real fun...
This is the top tier of the campaign of Juliet, of the total down spiral of her life. Good times.
But let's wrap things up with some quick questions here.
Okay.
Yeah, so... I think I actually mentioned it, like, at this point in the campaign, like, at this point you guys are starting to kind of make a name for yourselves as adventurers, but, like, you guys didn't really have a group name. Yeah, so... You guys tossed around some ideas, if you want to explain that.
We were trying to think of something with, like, the number 5, because there was 5 of us, and I was like, well, what about, like, only one of us can read? Because literally we all think it's Essen who can read, which actually is really fucking surprising. Juliet has the highest intelligence out of the whole fucking group, which shocks the shit out of me. She just chooses not to use it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, what about Order of the Oracle or Order of Odysseia? And we were like, oh, Order of the Oracle sounds cool. But then we're like, wait, what if the Oracle's a bitch? I'm like, okay, so we're gonna write not this Oracle, but a cooler Oracle.
A cooler Oracle.
Or we already made the shirt, so it doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
And I think we finally settled on just the 5. The 5 what, you may ask? We don't know. The 5 tadpoles, the 5 idiots, you know, you can just pick and choose. The 5.
Oh my god. I also really like how none of you have actually said this in character either, so like, it's just like, all of you, it's in your heads, but like, it's just not in the world at all.
We haven't really thought, like, we haven't really come across like a situation where we had to call like ourselves as a group yet, you know, the 5.
That's fair.
But yeah, so we're the 5.
Yeah, so, other things. Oh yeah, we got some questions about like when we first made Juliet's character, I think you mentioned to me that you wanted to be a Tabaxi, but reflavor it to be a Kitsune.
Yes.
And then I just told you like, oh hey, let me just look up a Kitsune homebrew race, because like, this is a homebrew campaign, like I'm not against using other people's homebrew stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I looked up some like Kitsune like homebrew races though. I'm just gonna say it right now. The ones that are out there are either really weak or really strong. I managed to find one that was kind of okay, but I had to like buff it. Because really like the only thing about the race was that like you could turn into a fox, and I mean it's alright, but like foxes are like really weak creatures, and as soon as you hit 0 hit points you immediately turn back. And even if you try to like deal damage to the fox, the highest you literally deal 1 damage as a fox on any of your attacks. Yeah, and like there was sub races with that homebrew thing that was like if you attack as a fox you can disengage as a bonus action. It's like, what's the point of that? Like, if you're gonna do 1 damage, what's the point of transforming into a fox and attacking people?
Right.
Yeah. So I was looking at some other sources, but like the other sources were even more insane, because it was like every 2 levels you basically get just like a full list of like spells, and like you get like 2 spells every level, so like at 9th level you get 18 extra spells, and so I was like, yeah, no, I don't think I want to give you fucking like 6th level spells by like level 9.
Right.
Yeah, so eventually I decided to combine the ideas of just like the fox form with like the innate spell casting, and kind of make like my own twist on it. What you still had the ability to turn into a fox, and you still got an extra proficiency in deception. But with that, you also gained 3 spells. I believe it was Produce Flame, because Fox Fire.
Right.
It was Charm Person and Phantasmal Force.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's all about like trickery and like, you know, you using like your wiles and your charms in order to like help your people.
My charms.
Your charms.
My charms. My charming personality to try and seduce men by scaring the shit out of them. My charms. How the fuck did Essen decide this fox lady? I like this one. What? Out of this alcoholic fox lady who like fucking intimidates people? Hell yeah, that one. Like, you know?
Oh my god.
Just makes you scratch your head. Like the opposites attract, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, no, we all know Essen can do better. No.
Oh, damn, dude. Okay, I'm not gonna lie though. With them being together, it really has made the 2 of them actually grow up a lot more. Especially Juliet. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, she's fucking impulsive and stupid sometimes, but honestly, ever since like they've, been more of a thing. They think more about, like, how can this affect the other person? How can this affect all of the party?
Yeah.
To be completely fair.
Which is actually really good, and I absolutely love that angle, which is why, like, again, relationships are a very tricky thing to do, like, in D&D, but, like, this adds so much to your character, because, like, it's not just about, like, what you think at this point, it's also about, like, you have to kind of consider what does Essen's character then think about Juliet doing these actions, are there going, those kinds of things, and also with that, Essen and Juliet both decided to baptize Hops and become Hops' godparents.
Yes.
And that's also probably going to be, like, a big growing moment for Juliet, where, like, it's going to be really interesting to think about what I think, like, because, like, Juliet's background and, like, the parenting that she had, how does Juliet then become a parent? Yeah.
That's a really good question. Yeah, Juliet was grown up in a very bad environment. I'll just say that for now. So, like, not just environment, but her mom specifically was just horrendous to her. So her having to be a mother herself, dude, like, I don't like to think about it, because I'm like, dude, I don't even know, because, like, she doesn't even have any siblings to share this burden with either. So, like, it's hard to think about, like, how would she help Hops as a mom? Honestly, she's not doing that bad, but, like, let me give my goddaughter smut.
Let me give my goddaughter smut, and also, like, there's tiny little character moments that, like, Hops' player likes to throw at you guys. Like, for example, Hops is literally, like, 2 years old. And so, like, you guys have been in, like, dangerous situations, and you guys have seen bodies before. And so Hops' player is like, Hops is gonna ask her godparents, what's death? And, like,
God. Okay, I'm more mad that nobody else fucking chimed in. Essen didn't chime in, Boondock didn't chime in, nobody. I had to fucking explain that shit to Hops, and I did awful. And I blame all of you for not helping. And then she fucking turned it around on you later, Shivam, so I was like, good.
Also, how was it my fault initially? Was I supposed to chime in as the dead body? Actually, miss.
Actually, I am alive. Exactly. Awkward.
Yeah, just have the dead body speak, and you guys are just going to be totally chill and fine with it instead of shooting it on sight.
Yes. See, at least Hops would have understood. Oh, it's dead now for real because we shot it. I'm like, yes, exactly.
Oh, stupid. Do you have any, like, so we just kind of, like, go into it every Sunday, but do you do anything like warm-up things for, like, roleplay or anything like that?
I think it just depends on the character that I'm playing. So we're currently, both of us are in 2 campaigns together. So with Juliet, I don't really need to think much about, like, how I have to act or anything.
You don't need to think.
No, I don't need to think. Literally all of the impulsiveness and alcoholism in me just comes out. Like, okay, actually, I will say I do have a ritual before we start. I actually do drink every single time we play, so that way I get in the mindset of Juliet. Not like heavy.
Is it always a very specific drink?
No, it's just a single, like, alcoholic drink or something like that,
okay.
like a Seagram's or, like, you know, a rum and coke, something light, obviously, so I know what's happening. I'm not fucking drunk on this or anything.
Yeah, Izzy just shows up every single weekend, just like
drunk off
half down a bottle of vodka. Let's fucking do this, y'all.
Yep. Dude, no, if I was drunk, my Hispanic accent would come out so bad. All of a sudden, fucking Juliet Arriba out here, like... No.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
No. For Nina, though, Nina is the human paladin that I have for our Fantasy High campaign going on. I have to think in a completely different mindset of rather than Juliet. Like, we did our first campaign, our first session on Wednesday. Holy crap, it was hard because I couldn't swear. I literally had to stop myself 3 different times from swearing because Nina isn't like that. Nina is a very soft, like, very nice lady, and she also has, like, a weird Russian accent because I
Yeah.
suck at accents. Just
I'm glad
Nina's,
I can
though.
be the stupid, chaotic one getting us all into trouble now.
God. Yeah.
God. I can't believe
Yeah.
my fucking fire warlock is in a goddamn tree.
Fire chicken.
Oh man.
Fire chicken.
You know,
with
personally,
your
like,
your himbo English accent.
yeah. So I literally have one other quote unquote accent that I do, and it's just kind of it's a himbo voice that's just kind of like this, and like
So
it's not
Sprout.
really a voice. Yeah, that's Sprout, but like that's also the voice I do for my other character, who's like this fucking 16-year-old dipshit who recently came into cleric powers.
Is this a here?
No. This is Flappus from
Flappus?
my Steven Universe campaign. Yeah, he was named by a very pragmatic Pearl. So his
gotcha.
full name is Flesh Lapis,
Oh my god.
shortened to Flappus.
Oh yeah, keep Flappus. God. Oh, it makes
On
me
a
so
note-
uncomfortable.
Boondocks player is never. I'm never allowing Boondocks player to name anything ever again.
Why?
Oh my god. But yeah, no, it's just kind of like this himbo voice, and like I was trying to do like Malik. Like Malik's definitely got like a birdish like bard voice, and so like I was trying to do a bard voice, but like the dumb himbo things I kept saying just made me want to kind of break out into this kind of voice here, and like. It just kept slipping out between the two. It's extremely bad, but like, hopefully I'll eventually get there, or just
Eventually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll amalgamate.
I think once you slip into the mindset and once you slip into the role of that certain character, like if I were to talk like Nina right now, I would sound like this, and I would talk in a different, very simple terms to speak as how Nina would speak.
Oh man. You know, but getting back to the question of like warm-up things for roleplay, what I also try to do just like when I prepare sessions is like I try not to start sessions with like the fucking bombastic like big things happening if I can help it. However, you know, just because of like we only have a limited time to play every single week because like people have like work and stuff like that in the morning.
How dare
Unfortunately,
people
we do
have
sometimes
lives
have to-
outside of Dungeons and Dragons?
How dare they? How dare they? Yeah, unfortunately, because they do, we do need to, like, break, like, some awkward moments occasionally, like, last session and this session.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but I try to, like, have, like, just a nice, easy thing where, like, people can kind of get into character and, like, you know, in a hopefully more lower stakes environment. And then, like, near the end of the session, that's when, like, hopefully things start ramping up to, like, the big, like, reveal that I want to hit. And then I leave you guys on that big cliffhanger moments.
Wow, we love it every single week, Shivam. Especially last session.
Yep.
Eventually, you will all know what I am talking about. If you check my Instagram, actually, right now, you'll see what has happened. Ha ha.
So, before Izzy flies into a blood-curdling rage at me, should we end this then?
I guess we can, unless you want me to fly into a blood-curdling rage.
Okay, so thank you all for listening to another episode of PhoenixChat. Links in our... If you want to support us on Patreon, that would be the best way you could possibly do so. Links in the description.
Or help Shivam's hospital bill as of coming soon.
Yeah, let us know if you have any questions in the comments below, or hit us up on Instagram. If you also check out our Instagram, you can, one, see the post that Izzy was talking about on her Instagram, or if you go to the official Spicy Velociraptor Instagram, we currently still have a Juliet Draws in Your Style coming up through the end of March here.
Yes.
Yeah, so be sure to enter that, because you're doing like a raffle then for commissions. And, yeah, so you can get some of Izzy's very lovely art as a reward if you enter. yeah, so, and, if I go missing, Izzy is the first suspect.
That's fine with me. Hi guys, it is now just me on this podcast, just talking to all of you by myself in my room with my cat beside me. Shivam, I have no idea who that man is. He's completely gone. I have taken over Phoenix Heart, the campaign. I am the DM now. I am also Juliet. I am also Sprout. I have just taken over.
All the himbos, they're mine to control.
PhoenixChat, yay!